Hello, everyone. Hope you're well today. Looking forward to our short session of chanting, meditation, and Dharma Talk. So let's do the chanting right now. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Uttam saranam gacchami, dhammam saranam gacchami, sangham saranam gacchami, dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami, dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami, dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami, tatayampi buddham saranam gacchami, tatayampi dhammam saranam gacchami, tatayampi sangham saranam gacchami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never be parted from the happiness beyond suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment to the near, and aversion from the far. I shall cause this. Great compassionate Buddha, please inspire me to be able to do so. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every types of offerings, actual and mentally transformed. I confess all of my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in all the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for all sentient beings. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. However innumerable all sentient beings are, I vow to save them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, I vow to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is, I vow to follow it completely. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Tayata Gati Gati Parasamgati Bodhi Soha. Tayata gati gati parasamgati bodhi soha. Tayata gati gati parasamgati bodhi soha. So just to remind you to do the chanting a little bit slower when you do it by yourself in your daily practice. We do it really fast now for the last half a year to get a little bit more time for the Dharma talk and meditations. Okay, so that's all. So let's do some meditation now to release the tension in the body. So gently close your eyes, lips gently touching, tongue resting on the upper palate in the mouth. And bring your mind inside your body now to release the tension from the tips of your toes all the way to the tips of your fingers and to the top of your head. So let's take a few moments to do this now. Now scan your body once more to see if there's any leftover tension that you can release. And if there is, do so. And when you are ready, bring your focus initially to the tip of your nose and follow the feeling of the breath as you breathe in your nose all the way into your lungs, then back out your nose again. So just follow this feeling of the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. All you have to do physically is be here physically and breathe. All you have to do mentally is to focus on the breath. And if the mind wanders, then replace your mind back onto the breath. So if thoughts do arise or mental activity arises, don't cling to it or grasp at it. Don't try to force it away either or deny it, but simply and naturally just replace your mind back onto your breath and let go of these thoughts or mental activities by replacing your mind back onto the breath. And if your mind starts to become dull or sleepy, then wake it up a little bit by replacing your mind onto your breath more brightly. You can also add the extra technique of counting the breaths from 1 to 10. Don't count past 10. And if you get distracted on the way towards 10, then go back to 1 at that time. Breathing in, breathing out. Not too tight, not too loose, not too much, not too little. Don't try too hard, don't try too little. Don't be tight in your practice. Otherwise, it's sort of like a guitar string. They're too tight, it will break. But don't be too loose in your practice either. Otherwise, it won't make any sound, the guitar string. It will just go like this. Plop. So now focusing on your breath, let's practice like this in silence for a little bit. So now you can feel pleased with yourself and fill yourself with universal loving kindness in the form of the white light or white nectar. Fill your whole being with this white light or nectar, representing universal loving kindness. Now you can radiate outwards. So fill yourself with so much loving kindness that it now overflows and radiates outwards, initially to your loved ones, your family, your friends, filling them with the universal loving kindness as well. May they be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. Now also include strangers, those people that you're indifferent towards, filling them with the universal loving kindness as well. May they too be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. And also include those you may regard as enemies. Fill them with the universal loving kindness as well, in the form of the white light or nectar. May they also be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. Remember that the word metta in Pali and Maitri in Sanskrit is closely related to the word mitra, which means friendliness or friends, friendship. Now let's radiate our loving kindness out further and further distance-wise, initially around your immediate area, to all living beings now. All of the living beings that live on the land or even under the land, live in the waters, fly through the air, whether they're born from wombs or eggs or moisture or through transformation. Whether you like them or don't like them, don't know about them, whether they're big or small, short or tall, seen or unseen, near or distant, whether they're born or still to be born. May they all be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. Filling them with the universal loving kindness, even the tiniest ones to the largest ones, to the beings in the other realms that we don't really know about, as well as the ones we do know about. Now have your loving kindness pervade throughout your whole state or county. And other states and counties throughout your whole country. And other countries throughout the world. Initially, those you have an affinity towards, those you're indifferent towards, and those that for whatever reason you may have some negative feelings towards. Have your loving kindness pervade throughout all of these countries, to all of the living beings, and also throughout all of the oceans and bodies of water, all the way down to the core of the earth and to the outermost atmosphere. Until your loving kindness pervades throughout this whole planet, to all of the innumerable living beings, this immeasurable loving kindness that is generated in your own heart and radiated outwards. Inseparable with compassion and joy based on equanimity, and in turn based on wisdom. So have your loving kindness now pervade throughout the whole solar system, and the whole galaxy, and all of the galaxies throughout the universe, until your loving kindness pervades throughout infinite space, and also be present here and now to recite the dedication prayer. Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of the Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious bodhicitta not yet born arise and grow. May that born have no decline but increase forevermore. And may the precious view of shunyata not yet born arise and grow. May that born have no decline but increase forevermore. And so we will continue to apply the three wisdom tools to these teachings. The wisdom of hearing, which includes the wisdom of studies, the wisdom of contemplation or investigation and analysis, and the wisdom of meditation or absorbing your mind with understanding. Based on hearing, then contemplating, and then absorbing your mind with the understanding. Okay, so we're utilizing my book to answer questions for a period of time now. We will continue to do so today and continue to actually utilize the teaching that we've used, I think, for about 4 weeks now. But I'll also introduce to you the next teaching as well, of which we will cover the 6 paramitas again, okay? So I'll read this to you now. And then, of course, we will continue the meditation or contemplation on the precious human life or birth, okay? Before moving on to the contemplation or meditation on impermanence, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks, and then on the law of karma, and then on the law of the unsatisfactory nature of cyclic existence, okay? We will also probably go in and talk about the interdependent origination as well, but I'm not sure when we'll do that. I've already given short commentary on that during the commentary on the 6 paramitas, on the wisdom aspect. But I thought maybe we can look at it from the point of view of mind, personality, and so on, and how to change for the better, etc. Utilize this impermanence for good, you know. Okay, so this teaching is number 47 out of 50 in the book. Every day is a good day. Every moment is a good moment. A great opportunity to practice the Buddha Dharma and bring benefit to all sentient beings. So once again, I'll reiterate, we're going to stick on this teaching at the moment in relation to the commentary on the preliminary contemplations, all right, the 4 of them. If we sincerely and wholeheartedly practice Dharma, moment to moment, day to day, then every moment will be a joyful moment. Every day will be a joyful day. When we sincerely and wholeheartedly practice Dharma in this human life, our life becomes a precious human life, as we will be making the most of this rare and precious opportunity. We should constantly remind ourselves that we now possess a most valuable, priceless, and precious human birth. This will help us to maintain the inner strength, confidence, joy, and enthusiasm we need to take full advantage of this rare opportunity. We should be careful not to waste our lives by being distracted by superficial worldly concerns, so that we can emulate the great sages and masters of the past and truly believe with confidence that we can follow in their footsteps and make our lives truly meaningful and worthwhile, okay? So I hope you don't mind me reading these things out to you. I obviously can speak them off the top of my head, but I think the way that it's written is in a good order, okay? So that's why I'm doing it like this, as well as giving you a little bit of entertainment and a little bit of variety, you know. The next teaching is closely related. Every day is a lovely day. Every moment is a lovely moment. It depends on your attitude. Okay, so the previous one says every day is a good day, every moment is a good moment. A great opportunity to practice the Buddha Dharma and bring benefit to all sentient beings. And you could add purify the mind to that. And so this one is every day is a lovely day. Every moment is a lovely moment. It depends on your attitude. Everything depends on our attitude in relation to whether we're happy or not happy, whether we can deal with things or not, etc. Okay? If you maintain a positive and loving attitude, whether or not you are experiencing pleasure or pain, gain or loss, fame or shame, or praise or blame, then every moment will be a lovely moment. Every day will be a lovely day. Those 8 I just mentioned there are the 8 worldly concerns again. Enthusiastically and joyfully be generous, moral and patient, and diligently develop clear concentration and wisdom. In other words, practice the paramitas, the 6 paramitas. Maintain a positive outlook in your life. Have faith and confidence in yourself. Have faith and confidence that you can truly be compassionate and wise. And like I said, we'll go on to that one in a little bit of time, okay? And then there's 2 more for the book. I won't read those now. Okay. So I will once again read to you the meditation on precious human life. We've already utilized the wisdoms of hearing, contemplating, and meditating at the beginning in relation to the 18 good conditions that we need, okay? So the 10 fortunes and the 8 freedoms. But I will go over it again, but we won't utilize those 3 wisdom tools today, okay? Because we've already done it twice. But I want you to memorize these, okay? When the Buddha's teachings are in numerical order, or the 4 Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, etc., you should memorize that because it's so easy, you know, even if you don't understand the teaching or put it into practice correctly yet, at least then you know what they are, okay? For yourself, but also to share with others as well. Okay, so this is meditation on precious human life, the 10 fortunes and 8 freedoms. Human life is considered precious when it is endowed with the excellent qualities or fortunes and freedoms, or the good conditions needed to engage in Dharma practice. Firstly, the 10 fortunes, 5 of which relate to you and 5 to the outside world. We should reflect on how fortunate it is that 1, I have been born as a human being. 2, I have been born in a civilized land, a spiritual country. That is, where people are keeping vows and living morally. Number 3, I have been born with sense faculties intact, able to hear, see, smell, think, and so forth. Number 4, I haven't, excuse me, I haven't committed any of the 5 heinous acts, extreme wrongdoings that would result in a rebirth of great suffering in the next life. 5, I have some faith and devotion in the Buddha's teachings and some inspiration to practice to tame this mind. Number 6, I have been born in a world where a Buddha has come. Number 7, I have been born in a world where Buddha has taught and revealed the truth. Number 8, I have been born where Buddha's teachings have not been lost from the hearts and minds, and where both unmistaken understanding and realizations are still held by great practitioners. Number 9, I have been born where Buddha's teachings are still being practiced in a pure way by the community of practitioners, our Dharma friends. Number 10, I have been born where I have the necessary conditions to practice and the support of genuine masters who teach us from their great love and compassion. So that's the 10 fortunes. Now let us reflect on the 8 freedoms. I have the freedom to create the causes for temporary happiness and ultimate good by 1, not being born in the hell realms. Number 2, not being born as a hungry ghost. Number 3, not being born as an animal. Number 4, not having distorted views, such as denying that cause and effect exists, and so on and so forth. Number 5, not born in a place where no Buddha has appeared. Number 6, not born in an uncivilized place where no one truly practices morality. Number 7, not born intellectually disabled, with no faculty to learn, understand, or practice the teachings. Number 8, not born as a long life god of the form realm. So I got cut off when we were talking about this number 7 there last week, okay? And I'll probably get cut off again today, but that's life, isn't it? I don't have the clock again. So anyway, not being born intellectually disabled. We'll cover that just really briefly, okay? With no faculty to learn, understand, or practice the teachings. Now, of course, there's different intensities, different levels of this disabilities, you know, of these disabilities. Of course, there are people that I do know that have some sort of mental disabilities, but they practice the Dharma because they're able to really focus on the Dharma. Maybe that's one of their talents, you know. For instance, in the past, I've had some students in the US, for instance, that were mildly autistic, and they could really memorize the teachings so well. They could read really fast. And some other sort of things, they had difficulties in life, but with these types of things, the study, that they actually could do it well. So we're talking mainly about the people that really can't study, can't retain the teachings, can't put them into practice, can't contemplate them, and can't really develop any sort of understanding, clear understanding. Okay, so I wanted to clarify that. And not being born as a long life God of the form realm, because the life is so long that forget to practice, really, isn't it? They are experiencing the good results of their previous meditation practice, and they are attached to the bliss of meditation. They are attached to the nice feelings, you know, the good vibe and all that type of thing. So they kind of exhaust after a long lifetime. They exhaust the good karma that they've created, and then of course will be born lower again. Okay, so we want to not be born in these long life heavens like that, where we can't practice the Dharma, or at least it's very difficult to continue to practice the Dharma. Okay, you have developed the concentration, but not wisdom, you know, and not compassion, not caring for others, not loving kindness, and so on. Okay. So now I will read the rest of the article, and then we will dissect it bit by bit. We should reflect that with these fortunes and freedoms, I can attain the sorrowless state and supreme enlightenment. To waste this precious life is like one who returns empty-handed from a treasure island. The great Tibetan master Lama Je Tsongkhapa said, "This body of leisure is more valuable than a jewel, which grants every wish. And now is the time you have found a life such as this." These words indicate not only how meaningful it is to have found such a life, but also how difficult and rare it is to have done so. We should contemplate these ideas again and again. This is one of the reasons why we're going over this in detail, and I'm doing it again and again to really boom, 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 you know, in your mind. So you remember, so you practice, so you have confidence in yourself, so you have faith in yourself and trust in yourself to be able to practice the Dharma to the best of your ability right now, okay? And into the future. Create the momentum, you know? So again and again, to realize a deep understanding and conviction into their meaning. Begin by reflecting on what you can check for yourself to be true. Acceptance of the suffering of the more hidden realms can come later. We can see directly that many people are born in countries without even the most basic freedoms, where they are tortured, oppressed by cruel and harsh systems of government. Many suffer persecution and extreme violation of their basic human rights. We should reflect, am I not fortunate to live in this land? Many are born blind, disabled in various ways, unable to receive or practice spiritual teachings. Am I not fortunate to be born with sense organs and faculties intact, able to hear and understand the Dharma? Many people have narrow, distorted views, unable to understand the law of cause and effect, of past and future lives, and so on and so forth, and therefore lead foolish, wasted lives. Am I not fortunate to have the chance to discover the truth and be free from suffering? Many live in places without sufficient food or water, homeless, scraping a living. Am I not fortunate to live in a land of such abundance? Many people are born in places where there are no practitioners of the Buddha's teaching, and in places where no Buddhas have appeared and revealed the truth. The teachings are being lost from this world. I have met them just in time. Am I not fortunate I have encountered these precious teachings in a pure form? And could I endure for even a single day the sufferings of animals, always afraid, eating each other, used in cruel experiments, farmed, slaughtered, in unbearable suffering, hunted for their skins and fur, forced to labor in harsh conditions, and so on and so forth. Am I not fortunate to be born as a human being? And what of those beings tortured by unbearable hunger and thirst, by torments unimaginable? Am I not fortunate to be free from such states? Who can say when such a precious human life will be mine again? Who can say how long I have left in this life? Let me resolve to ensure that I make correct and highest use of it. May I take the essence of this precious birth with its fortunes and freedoms without wasting a moment. Again, the great Tibetan master Lama Gyaltsongkhapa said, "It is difficult to find and easily destroyed like lightning in the sky." Think over this carefully and come to realize that all activities of the world are like chaff blown in the wind. To take the essence of this life, you must strive day and night. I, the master meditator, lived my life this way. You, who seek for freedom, must try to do likewise. And so that's it. I think maybe about 4 or 5 minutes to go in the class. So let's utilize the 3 wisdom tools again now. So we're here now. You can close your eyes if you like, or you keep them open as long as you don't get visually distracted. And so hear this teaching. We should reflect that with these fortunes and these freedoms or these good conditions, I can attain the sorrowless state and supreme enlightenment. To waste this precious life is like one who returns empty-handed from a treasure island. So let's do one sentence at a time. So hear this sentence, and then I will get you to reflect on it or contemplate on it. We should reflect that with these fortunes and freedoms, I can attain the sorrowless state and supreme enlightenment. So contemplate that with your eyes closed. It is possible, now that you have these good conditions, these fortunes, these freedoms, that you can work your way towards enlightenment by hearing the Dharma, contemplating the Dharma, absorbing your mind with the Dharma, practicing the Dharma, practicing these methods, these immeasurably precious methods. You have the ability. You can have confidence in yourself, faith, trust in yourself to be able to practice the Dharma correctly, working your way in the right direction towards what we call Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi in Sanskrit, Sama Sambuddha in Pali, or in English, unsurpassed supreme enlightenment. Now you have some understanding, whatever that level may be, absorb your mind with it right now, just for like half a minute. Really absorb your mind. This is so good, so wonderful. As you're practicing this, you should have your eyes closed so that you're not distracted visually. And now hear again. So the wisdom of hearing. To waste this precious life is like one who returns empty-handed from a treasure island. Would you do that? If you went to a treasure island, you're going there to get a treasure. Using our imagination now. Imagine going there. There is a treasure there, but you leave without bringing it with you. Would you do that? No. So this precious human life, if we don't practice the Dharma, it is like that, like we are going to the treasure island and leaving without the treasure. It's so very precious so very rare to be born as a human being, especially in touch with the Dharma, and have the ability to attain enlightenment, or at least work our way towards that enlightenment. So now absorb your mind with this teaching. And just to let you know that if I get cut off, that's life. I'll just continue doing as we're doing right now. And then, of course, we will pick it up next week, wherever we finish today. So now back to the wisdom of hearing. The great master Lama Tsongkhapa said, "This body of leisure is more valuable than a jewel which grants every wish. And now is the time you have found a life such as this." So Lama Tsongkhapa is the beginner of the Gelugpa Buddhist tradition in Tibet. The Dalai Lama tradition, you may call that as well. Okay. Of course, this Dalai Lama we have now is the 14th Dalai Lama. So you could say that Tsongkhapa was the first, the beginner, the initiator of this Gelug tradition from the Gelug region in Tibet. He says, "This body of leisure is more valuable than a jewel which grants every wish." Contemplate on that now. So this human birth is more precious than a jewel that you could wish for anything in the world. You could wish for $1 million